Anong tingin ng House prosecutors dito sa, I think natuldo ka na, no? Na problema sa liderato. Oo. How are you preparing, how's your preparation vis-a-vis this development in the Senate leadership?
Fully ready na yung ship, pwedeng sabihin, no? Ah, nahati-hati na yung mga prosecutors according to their topics, nabaybay na nila yung evidence, and hindi nayurak or nagalaw ng supposed uh, instability dulot sa gulo sa Senate leadership. Uh, Thankful tayo na natapos na yon dahil ngayon we can get to work. No? June 18, that's tomorrow, no? Magtutuloy-tuloy na yung pre-trial, and on July 6 maaasahan natin na magkakaroon na ng trial. Wala nang balakid, so we should all be prepared not only to watch pero to be critical about yung mga sagot na ilalabas ni VP, and syempre yung arguments din for an impeachment.
Okay, pag-usapan natin ito, no? Kasi inanunsyo kanina, I think, the Senator Panfilo Lacson, na ang tinitingnan nilang tatayo bilang bilang presiding officer, hindi si Senator Gatchalian na Senate President, kundi si former Senate President Chis Escudero, na isa sa, I think, 5 lang na abogado diyan sa Senado. Alam natin yung kasaysayan ni Chis Escudero during the 19th Congress. How does the prosecution team see this? Kung sakaling si Chis Escudero nga yung tumayo bilang presiding officer?
Well, tayo ang talagang inasahan natin attorney yung gagawa. Well, eto naman lang, sa personal na lang to na pananaw, may rumors kasi na si Senator Kiko Pangilinan, no, bilang isa sa mga attorneys, no. We were looking forward to that. Nagulat na lang tayo na si Senator Chis Escudero yung nahalal or na-select, no. Pero nonetheless,
napipisil nila. Hindi pa formalize, no? I think gagawin nila yan sa July 6.
Yes po. We'll see kung ano pong mangyari. Prepared naman yung House anyway sa kung ano mang eventuality. Pero tuloy-tuloy naman din yung ating gawain para, all sources of corruption, we go after them.
Pero meron bang worry on the part of the House prosecutors given the history of Chis Escudero? Kasi siya yung nag-redefine ng forthwith during the 19th Congress. So, hindi niya agad kinonvene yung Senado bilang impeachment court. At eventually nga, nagkaroon desisyon yung Korte Suprema. Given that history, does it bother you?
Well, there's no worry for now. We're fully investing our time sa pag-prepare, no, at paglatag ng arguments. And since hindi pa formal, we've yet to see anything. But I think sufficiently na-establish ng public yung pressure dito sa trial na hindi lang siya magtuloy-tuloy pero dapat matapos. No? I feel like yung nangyari sa Senate today na supposedly people were expecting maybe a showdown, right? Pero before even magsimula yung araw, no, mag-convene yung session, Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano put out a statement saying na, okay, dating Senate President ako, hindi pa tayo titigil. Implying, no, some pag-give way na. So, given yon, no, and yung bigat ng haharapin natin, no, I think the public pressure is on. And so therefore, hindi ako worried na hindi magtutuloy yung trial, pero definitely kailangang pagbantayan natin kung ano yung magiging decisions ng presiding officer and yung senator judges.
Do you think he will be fair given the fact that he was, at least based on perception, identified with Sara Duterte before?
Well, I want to believe he's fair. I think right now, no, yung mga members of the Senate, marami po silang mga naging positionings, iba-ibang mga blocks and alignments. And the people have clamored, no, na pwede bang political neutrality muna according to the rules, tapos all in tayo dito sa pagtuloy-tuloy ng proseso. No? Although may nuance po dyan on my part, no, for example, pinag-aralan natin yung kasaysayan ng impeachment, no, at the end of the day, it's possible for political interests to come in, right? Na at 2001, which is actually the year that maraming kabataan din showed up in an anti-corruption campaign, went to the streets because the Senate voted not to open the envelope that should contain evidence. So, that can still happen now, no? Hindi natin nirule out yon. And that's why the challenge to all of us ay mapagmatsyag at laging present sa proseso, because that can still happen even though nagpalit ng tao, no, and supposedly naging mas stable yung Senate as a vote, that can still happen.
Nga pala po, sa preparation ninyo sa House Prosecution Team, gaano ba ka-crucial yung role ng isang presiding officer sa isang impeachment trial?
So, ngayon, ang iba't ibang pinapractice ng mga members ng House Prosecution Panel, how to conduct direct examination, cross-examination, how to process objections, make them, contest them. Siguro for people who aren't lawyers or aren't as familiar, sa trial
process. Sorry po, nagalaw lang yung camera ko pero nandito pa ako. Tuloy-tuloy lang kayo sa pagsasalita, Magre-reconnect lang ako ng camera pero nandito ako, ha? Sige. Ikaw mo na ilalagay ko sandali, ha? Tatanggalin ko muna yung sarili ko.
Okay. Ayan. Sige. So, yun. Kung wala tayong familiarity masyado during a trial process, may direct examination na gagawin and cross-examination na gagawin yung mga parties to witnesses. No? So, kunwari may witness si prosecution, which is the House panel, sila magdi-direct examination para ilatag yung laman ng, for example, affidavit nila. Then may cross-examination yung kabilang party to test yung credibility ng witness na to, yung sinasabi niya, etc. Pwede rin pong mag-object yung both parties sa line of questioning na ginagawa ng kabilang partido kung fair or hindi. At the end of the day, ang crucial kung sino si presiding officer kasi siya yung mag-rule on, siguro, mas visible dito, kung yung objections na yan is-sustain or i-deny, diba? So that would ipapastol niya kung anong mukha ng isang discussion. Kunwari may probing questions, and dapat probing naman talaga for a particular direct examination kung may objection, tapos may basehan, siya ang mag-rule kung tama yung basehan na yun or hindi. So, whether we can delve deeply into particular answers can depend on who is the presiding officer. So, crucial din kung sino siya. Crucial na attorney siya, for one, so familiar siya sa landscape na yon. And kaya niyang ipastol yung discussion in a way that should allow parties to delve deeply and even establish firmly yung evidence and yung defenses nila.
Yun nga, kasi hindi naman pwedeng isubject lahat sa diskusyon ng impeachment trial judges, yung every decision when it comes to, let's say, objections, tama? So talagang nandun yung role ng dapat mapagdesisyonan siya ng presiding officer.
Yeah.
Okay. Dito, so sa pre-trial, kasi doon sa mga hindi familiar dito sa proseso, kasi nga this is very technical, and I think we have to explain this, hindi naman na to simplify, pero at least to make this more understandable sa mga kababayan natin. Kasi expect nila, ang inaabangan talaga dyan yung July 6 trial. Pero ano ba mangyayari dito sa pre-trial? Ano yung mga ma-expect natin?
Sa pinaka-simple, this should make the trial simpler dahil may mga ilalatag tayong ano yung common facts na panghahawakan ng both parties, ano yung common questions na gusto nating sagutin, at maglalatag na ng ebidensya na ipapresent ng both sides para hindi magkagulatan. No? So, tomorrow, we should be expecting ano na yung direction ng both parties. No? Ano yung direction ng prosecution, ano yung direction ng defense. So yung prosecution, more or less, may idea na tayo because that is already what is in the articles of impeachment and kung ano yung nalatag dun sa House Committee on Justice hearings. Pero kung may mga additional sila, for example, no, yung additional witnesses, additional evidence na gusto introduce, the pre-trial brief is the last opportunity. Or not really the last, no? Yung parang isang malinis na opportunity para i-present yon. And then the defense, it is ideally paglalatag din ng counter evidence nila, counter arguments nila. So, siguro para lang baybayin chronologically kung ano yung inaasahan natin on June 18, maghaharapan yung dalawang parties, no, yung counsels nila, yung in the court, no, so yung Senate impeachment court, then okay, mag-identify sila ano yung common issues nila or common facts nila, ano yung pag-aagrihan nila. Usually ano yan, pwedeng VP Sara Duterte is the vice president, she took her oath on June 30, 2022, etc., etc. And then may konting tagisan dyan, lalo na kung kunwari, kailan nabigay yung confidential intelligence funds, kailan din na-release, through what format, etc., etc. Pwede dun may tagisan. Then common issues na nakikita natin baka mahirap magkaroon ng agreement. So let's just see in the trial kung paano lalabas. And then, paglalatag lang ng kanilang ebidensya and yung kanilang witnesses. And usually they will reserve the right to introduce further evidence as the trial goes on. To my awareness, both parties reserved that right. So, wala may puwang, no, tignan na lang natin kung paano i-honor tong puwang na to sa trial proper, na mag-introduce din sila ng evidence as it goes, no, the trial. Pero generally, inaasahan natin na dapat nalatag nila yan sa pre-trial brief.
Yung puwang, by practice, how much leeway is given to either party? Kasi baka biglang maglabas siya ng surprise witness. Kunwari, biglang ilabas, meron nga, Mary Grace Piatos, nakatanggap ako. Pero wala doon sa pre-trial. Hindi binigay sa listahan.
Okay. So, sa regular court proceedings, in criminal cases, meron ng rule on continuous trial. No? So, ang requirement doon generally, no, magkaroon ng pre-trial and ilatag na po sa brief lahat ng witnesses na gusto nating i-present. And even lahat ng evidence na gustong i-present. And kahit nga hindi sobrang detalyado, kahit general description lang ng gusto nating i-introduce na witness. No, not even the name, pero ano yung background niya. And nakita natin to sa, for example, pre-trial brief ni VP Sara. No, sabihin niya at least 5 people from the Commission on Audit, etc., etc. So, pwede yun. So, siguro some level of surprise is going to be inevitable dahil may generality pa rin sa paglalatag ng witnesses that's acceptable. And yung particulars sa trial na lang. But, in practice din, no, nire-require ng courts na kung anumang affidavit na isasubmit nitong witness na hindi pa detalyado yung pangalan sa pre-trial pero isasalang na siya sa next hearing, kailangan mo isubmit yan days before the trial hearing date. No? So, tayo, at least dapat maabisuhan tayo, no? Kung ano man yung kailangang isubmit para papaghandaan naman kahit papaano. And even then, you can ask a little bit of time during the trial hearing proper para makapag-formulate ka ng response. So, yun naman po, may surprise pero hindi naman, kaya naman siguro dapat mahawakan.